Friday, February 23rd, 2018. You are watching Sportsbit. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. It is early in the morning in Las Vegas, and it's time to get right into it. Set up the betting card for today and the weekend ahead. What we like to do with every show is start with what happened last night. We call it bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books, and oh my. Let's see. What did we have last night? Oh, just the largest comeback in college basketball history with Drexel beating Delaware. Drexel, look at the tweet from ESPN Stats and Info. Just when you thought a 34-point lead was safe, Drexel trailed Delaware 53-19. 53-19 with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Yeah, they won the game. Anatomy of a comeback. You look at it, and of course, the largest comeback. This broke a record from 1950. What happened in the second half? All Drexel, all makes from beyond the arc. All that being said, largest comeback in D1 history? No, it wasn't. Balderdash, I call. Why? Because Delaware still covered at +3. Remember, they led that game with 30 by 34. They were 3-point underdogs. Zach Spiker, the Drexel head coach, following that ridiculous comeback. Quote, our approach at halftime was, let's make it happen. Look, this is a chance to be the craziest comeback, a perfect storm. We turned it over. We came out soft. The opposite happened in the second half. I love this quote from Tremaine Isbell, the Drexel guard. Quote, we try to get bricks, which is 3 straight stops. Those started coming to us in bunches. The coaches just kept screaming at us at timeouts, whatever the run was, 17-2, 8-0. After you hear it a couple of times, you start thinking, we were just down 25.7 minutes ago. Maybe this is possible. And we just made history. Now, let's not forget, this could have been one of the worst bad beats ever in the history of bad beats because Delaware, they had the ball late, down by 3. A miss and a Drexel rebound would have meant the Dragons going to the line with a chance to cover. But Delaware scored, then then Drexel finally closed it out with the bucket. So too late for anything else to happen. They only won by 2, but it was most assuredly a scenario in which that +3 that you had in your pocket, your team had a 34-point lead, you could have lost that bet, which shows there are no locks. And the reason I love that Isabel quote, I want to get back to that real quick. We talk about how do you make a run? What do you look for when you're live betting? What team has the capacity to come back from a big deficit? Isbell said it very clearly. We try to get bricks, which is 3 straight stops. When you're looking for a team capable of making a comeback for live betting, it all starts on the defensive end. Drexel certainly brought that last night. It wasn't the only bad beat. And, of course, from a betting perspective, it wasn't a bad beat. So we got to give the one that was a betting bad beat. Of course, Oregon State +5 against Arizona. Yeah, you know how this goes. Tied at 61 at the end of regulation. Unfortunately, if you had the dog, they didn't cash the ticket at the end of regulation. Wildcats with the OT run-out win by 10. Oregon State +5 crashes and burns. Oh, Alonzo Trier could only sit and watch. Arizona's upside takes a big hit with Trier sitting on the sidelines in street clothes. Another idiocy. God, I feel like every time I get on air, I get a chance to rip the NCAA for doing something unbelievably stupid. This is one that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll just leave it that way as the NCAA continues to harass kids that just want to come to college and play basketball. Bad bets last night. What do we had? Well, there's a little one in Brooklyn. Charlotte over 213.5, bet up to 216.5. That lands 206. That wasn't the one to talk about. This is the one to talk about. Philly taking all that money against Chicago. And everyone knows the Bulls are tanking. And everyone knows that the Bulls, like the markets are sleeping on the fact that Chicago's playing a bunch of guys in their starting lineup that you're never going to hear from again after this year. But Philly, it's all good and bad against Philly. When the 76ers studs are in the game, Simmons, Covington, Embiid, all the big plus minutes, they rolled with their key cogs on the court. When those 3 guys weren't on the court, and when Philly's going to their bench, well, Chicago certainly had the edge. Sixers bet up to 7.5. They win by only 1. That's a bad bet. Another one worth talking about, Cal. Cal got bet up as a favorite. -3 up to -5.5 against Washington State. The question can legitimately be posed, why on earth would someone, and in this case it was clearly a group of someones and several groups of someones, bet on Cal as a chalk versus anybody? Bears have had a terrible season. Took money last night. They lost. Wazoo. It's a straight up victory. Bad for books? Well, Knicks Magic. You want to talk about a total getting steamed. That over 211 was 212, 213, 216. I mean, it went through the roof. A ton of wise guy money on Orlando and New York over the total. Where's it land? 233. It wasn't like there was this great three-point shooting night, especially the Knicks. The Knicks were only 7 of 25 on three-pointers. But there was no rim protection whatsoever for that Magic defense. The Knicks, 41 of 74 on two-point shots. The pace was frenetic, and the offense production was strong. The over cashes with ease. That certainly wasn't a good result for the house. When we come back, big game breakdown. We got a pair in the NBA for tonight and a pair in the college ranks for Saturday. Stay tuned right here on Sportsbook. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. And please, if you like the show, give us a little bit of love, baby. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a retweet. We need the social media to keep going. We appreciate your support. Big game breakdown coming up next. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.